Hello, everybody. Thank you, Mr. Dunfried. Thank you, all the team of ICD that work to make this event a successful one. I want to introduce myself first. So I am the Minister Counsellor at the Moroccan Embassy. I don't know if you are familiar with this language within diplomacy, which means that I second the ambassador on the work that we have in our embassy. I have been posted first in the Middle East and then in Sweden and then in the Moroccan mission to the EU for 5 years in Brussels before I came to Germany and to Berlin a year ago. So I'm very honored to introduce in few words. I will try to be very brief so as to give the floor to our colleague who is the Minister of Tourism, and it's about tourism today, not about too much politics. So it's just I want to say a few words about Morocco, to give you a glance about its historical background, demographical background, and also from the geographical point of view. And I will say just a few words about Morocco referring to the Arab Spring, as Mr. Dunfried said. So very often we are confronted with some shortcuts when we speak about the region of in the Arab region. Many we associate, very often some people associate this region to troubles, to insecurity, to instability, of course, which is not always the case. And anyway, the reality in this region is very different, and the reality in Morocco is exceptional, I should say. So I will start by telling you that just a couple of weeks ago, I went to my dentist, and while he was working in my mouth, he asked me, is it safe to travel to Morocco? I have never been there. I told him that maybe it's safer than in Europe. I mean, in Europe, we had many explosions, many terrorist attacks. The only maybe a very few ones that happened, the last one that happened in Morocco, it was in 2003. And since then, we didn't know any terrorist attack in Morocco. And people that go there, my friends, that they always think that they are as safe in Moroccan cities, in even the most deep in the country, as they are in Europe, and this is not this is not an issue in Morocco. Why is it safe? It's safe because of all the specific characteristics that makes Morocco what it is now. First of all, when people went in the street, we have some people going in the street to protest within the context of the Arab Spring, but in the contradictory of what happened in the Arab countries, in the other Arab countries, people, when they went in the street, they just asked for more reforms, for reforms against corruption, but they didn't ask for the regime to change the regime. It didn't happen in Morocco, which is a very specific and strong message. We had thousands of young people going in the Moroccan streets, in all the Moroccan cities, but we didn't see at all what happened in the Arab world happening in Morocco because of the attachment of the population to the institutions and to monarchy, and because it's very anchored within the Moroccan history. The Moroccan kingdom, Morocco is a kingdom for more than 1,000 years. For more than 1,000 years. Many dynasties have been, and we are among the fewest kingdoms in Africa and the Arab world. It has been a kingdom even during the Roman Empire. We had some Berber kings that ruled the country even before the Arabs came. And this is another shortcut, that many they think that Morocco is an Arabic country and maybe a pure Arab country, which is not the case. A big part, an important part of the Moroccan society is not from Arabic background. They are Amazigh, which is the local population that lived for more than 4,000 years at least in North Africa and mainly in Morocco. The language is different. It's even for people living in Morocco, for people from Arabic background, it's kind of it's different. It's very, the tradition is different, the look of people is different. And for those who traveled within the Moroccan cities, they feel the difference almost every 100 kilometers. The look of people is different, the way the clothing is different, the language is different, the writing is different, the handicraft is different. So it's a very rich country. And it has to be considered as such when we try to perceive Morocco compared to other countries in the Arab world. And they have been in the Middle East. I served there for many years, not only as a tourist. So I know what I am talking about. This is from the demographic point of view. But there is something else that is connected also to the culture, meaning maybe they heard about Essaouira and the festival of Gnawa music, which reflects the impact and the roots of Africa in Morocco. And this is another component which characterizes Morocco with regard to its African background, roots. And when we consider, and this takes me to the geographic aspect, when we consider these strong African roots for a country that is the closest to Europe, let's keep in mind that Morocco just 14 kilometers far from Spain, from the coast of Spain. And from Tangier, you can see the lights of Spain on the other side, which is the closest. And it's not only the closest geographically, but also in the partnership with the EU. We have the strongest ties, economic ties. We have the advanced status, and we are the unique country in the south of the Mediterranean that has an advanced status with the European Union. Which covers three components: security at democracy level, trade and industry and economic level, and a human and social component of this partnership, which makes Morocco having very strong ties with the EU and Europe. From the geographically point of view, I should say, and I'm just giving you a glance so as we can have a discussion, and also to introduce our colleague from the tourism department. We have 3,500 kilometers coast, 500 kilometers on the Mediterranean shore, 3,000 on the Atlantic shore. Where many touristic spots like Agadir are quite very well known to the German tourists and to German public, thanks to its moderate weather, which is all the year long between 20 and 30 degrees around. But Morocco is not only known as a touristic country for the sea, sailing, sea and sun. The Moroccan offer of tourism is much more than that. Many people, they know about Morocco when they throw their knowledge about the movie. They know from the Moroccan cities Casablanca and Marrakesh. Casablanca because of the famous movie, Marrakesh because it's one of the most desirable cities in Morocco, where many famous singers, actors, football players spend part of their vacations and even own houses in Marrakesh. But Morocco is also a country of imperial cities. If you take, for example, Fez, which is a spiritual city, it's more than 1,200 years history. It harbors the oldest university, which is the Qarawiyyin, and this is the oldest university in the world, is located in Fez, and this is many people they don't know. The old city of Fez, it's the biggest in the world, and this is many people they don't know about these things. So the offer is very rich, and it's not only the imperial cities, Rabat, Meknes, Fez, Marrakesh. It's also and the ocean and the sea. It's also mountains. We have the reef chain of mountains north of Morocco, along with of the Mediterranean Sea, and then we have the Atlas Mountains, and the highest mountain in Morocco is 4,165 meters. So, and where people practice, of course, climbing and skiing in some spots. We can ski in Morocco also. And we have also golfing. We have very good ones in different regions. And when I was serving in Sweden for 5 years, many of Swedish people, they go during winter to practice golfing in Morocco because they cannot do it because of the snow in Sweden. So these are just some elements that I want to give you. I don't want to go through politics because to give much time, but what I want to say about politics, that Morocco, since its independence in the middle of the 50s, 1950s, has chosen the economic, the open market, the market economy, and he has chosen pluralism. And we had our first constitution in 1962. And since then, we had several reforms in order to strengthen, to consolidate our democracy, pluralism, and also to open up and to widen up the margin of political participation. And of course, we had reforms. These reforms have been consecrated in the context of the Arab Spring with the Constitution of 2011, July 2011, which give much stronger power and prerogatives to elected in institution. And this is why, to go back to this Arab Spring, we had our Arab Spring quite longer before. We didn't have, like in some of the countries in the area that knew these big changes and big trouble. We had a process of reforms that started with the former King Hassan II in the beginning of the 90s. And the reforms continued with our current king, he has very young spirit, with a very reforming vision, a reforming that touches not only to democracy and to the political field, but also to modernization, modernizing the situation of women, giving young people more capacities to speak up and to say what they think and to participate to the political arena. So these are just some elements that I wanted to share with you, and of course I will be open to the discussion with you if you have any questions later on. And thank you for your attention. Danke schön, and I let my friend or colleague to introduce the political